Okay, so for activity 3, we have timer intervals. I already have the README opened up, so let's take a look at that. So as a developer, I want to create a speed reading application that prints a single word of a message at a time. It is done when the number of seconds left on the countdown is printed on the screen. It is done when after 5 seconds ends, the words of the message appear on the screen, one word at a time. So here they have a demonstration of what they want, and then some say the world. It's a really long sentence. So hints: how to display message. Use set interval and clear interval methods to display words at an interval of 1,000 milliseconds. Okay, so I have the code opened up here. We have a couple of IDs here of countdown and main. We have our giant message here. And the message is being split up into words. So this should return an array. If we console.log words and we refresh, we have all our words here. We have our countdown, which sets the value to 5 with a time interval, which hasn't been filled out yet. Countdown has been called and nothing is working yet. Okay, so let's look at the basic structure on how to set an interval. And opening the link, we have our set interval here. And, okay, so we'll do our own example. So we have a function here, and right here is where we want to write our code. And right after the squiggly bracket, but before the parentheses, we want to put our time here. So it's telling us they want it in the comments of every 1,000 seconds, and they want time left to be displayed. And then we have to clear the interval. Okay, so we have to display the message. So message interval, that's the message interval. They'll display the message. What happens if I just run display message? Don't think. Some say okay, so this display message is actually working as is, and every 1 second is displaying the message. And okay, so they just basically want us to display this message on countdown. So let's do that. So we need to go ahead and look at the structure of the index, and where it's going to be is our countdown ID, which is an H2, and they've given us that with the countdown. So let's fill the timer element text content with the current time left. Okay, time left is not defined. Oops, because I forgot. Make this capital. Say 5. It just says 5. It's working. So if we do 5 minus minus 4, 3, 2, 1, and what do they want? They actually said, so they said time left with a message. So to do this, I am going to use a template literal, place it like that. Now, okay, to do a template literal, we can do a $sign surrounded by 2 squiggly brackets. I'm just going to borrow this because of my hotkey binding, and you want to put any JavaScript code you're referencing to here. So as you can see, when we do that, we still get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But now after this, we can do this seconds. What was their reference? 5 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Cool. So 5 seconds remaining, 4 seconds remaining, 3, 2, 1. And now once we hit 0 or 1, it wants us to stop that and then display that message. So if time left equals 1, we want to clear interval of time interval. And now it should stop afterwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's not working. So we do 0, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, clear. Okay, it's not clearing the interval, but the timer did stop, and that's what we want. So now what we want to do is we want to do timer element dot text content. We're going to set that equal to an empty string. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it never displays it. Okay, so what's happening is this decrements after it's immediately shown. So it checks it, and so it never writes it on the screen. So if we do the check first, 4, 3, 2, 1, does the check, then it goes to 0. It never clears it. Else. Duh. Okay, now we will do an else. We have to be conditional with this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, clear interval. Cool. So we've gotten that. So after we clear the interval, we're going to go ahead and display the message. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, clear. Some say, okay, so that's good. This is moving way too slow. So let's do every quarter seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say it's ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire, but it had to perish twice. I think I know enough of hate to just blah blah blah. Anyway, it's a really it's a really long sentence. And it worked. And then when it's done, we're gonna clear the interval, and then we will just clear that weirdo message out. So main element dot text content is going to be equal to nothing. So just so this message goes by quicker, we will do that. And there are 51 words. So 51 seconds is a bit much. So 51 divided by 4 is like 12 seconds. I know it's over. Okay, so okay, so that's basically it for this one. This was a short one, but it's a good way to show you how intervals work, just to make sure that I've done everything that needed to be done. I have, and okay, there is something we can do with this to make this kind of cool. We could do a timer. Yeah, let's do a stopwatch. Okay, so to do a stopwatch, I'm just gonna keep everything here. We have our index, we have our main, and we are going to do just another p element with so does this have a specific thing? Main. I really like this. We're just gonna make this a class too, with a class equals main, and then we will do an ID equals stopwatch. Okay, so let's go ahead and first grab the, so we're gonna do, where are we gonna do the stopwatch? We'll do the stopwatch at the bottom. Stopwatch. And we want to get our stopwatch element, which equals document.getElement by ID of stopwatch. And we will console log along the way because that's how I work. Don't know what I did there. Stopwatch element. And here we have our P class with a stopwatch. So, okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to do our set interval. We're gonna set it to a, we don't actually need to set it to anything because if it's a stopwatch, it's going, it's kind of going on forever, but we will do that, and we will do set variable watch equals that. We'll set an interval with a function and then we'll do that. And we want this one to go every second. And we have seconds equals seconds can equal that. So seconds equals 1. Okay, so we'll just do seconds plus, and we're gonna set this to a value. Variable seconds equal 1, seconds plus, and we will do stopwatch element dot text content to be equal to seconds plus, and we will just clear this. Okay, so here's our. I thought it would take the same margin bottom, font width, font size. Okay, so now that we've made the text bigger after finding out there are 2 style sheets, so these represent seconds, and we want there to be minutes. So let's do var minutes equals, we'll do 1, we'll do 1, and we'll do 2, and then we'll do another one of these. Let second, let second, we'll do second count, and we will do minute count. Okay, so if this is seconds, we need this every 60 seconds. We want this to increase minutes by that much. Okay, so that's going on. Okay, so we know this is not going to work the way we want it to. So, okay, so the way we're going to do this is we're just going to be incrementing, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to have one more. We have var milliseconds equals 0. And then what we're going to do, we're going to have var milliseconds count equals set interval of function of that, and we want this to be every 100 milliseconds, and we're just going to do now we can actually do it properly, where we can update everything at once with one of these guys again. And what we're gonna want is we want minutes with seconds with milliseconds, and in this case we are going to increment milliseconds because these intervals will be going all at the same time, and we want to do the element stopwatch element dot text count equals that. That is not going to work because there is no seconds before here. So okay, perfectly okay. Okay, so after a bit of code refactor, we've kind of gotten it down to this. We will increment milliseconds first. We'll check if they're both less than 10. Otherwise, we will check else if seconds is less than 10 or milliseconds is less than 10. We will do a check on that. So if seconds is less than 10, we will update that value with this. Yes, we will do that. There you go. That works like that. And else we will do the exact same thing, else we just update the value with whatever the seconds and milliseconds are. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's going on every that. Okay, and now else. Okay, so we need to do a check up here. If milliseconds is greater than 100, is greater than 99, we need to set milliseconds to 0. So now, at the end of that, we can okay, so there was a little bug there for a second. Looking when as soon as it rolls over, for 1 second, there is a bug. So probably one of these. There you go. So that's it right there. We have our kind of stopwatch. You can expand that further with hours and things like that. There are timer packages that kind of make it a lot simpler to do this, where it'll fill the 0 for you, so you're not doing it by hand. But this is an example of how we can use intervals to make ourselves a little stopwatch here, if you want. So thank you for watching. This was a little bit of a longer one, but I will definitely reduce it. So we will move on to the next one.